Well, hello! Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I am Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your birding adventures. And today we are going to be working on eyes. I have a couple of different eyes that I picked out. I've already transferred my pattern. This time I am not making the same mistake of not being ready like last week. That was very frustrating. So we have a baby eye, we have an African American gentleman's eye, and we have a older gentleman's eye. And I'm trying to click all this stuff off and on. Here we go. Hi guys, hi Eve, hi Andrew, hi Connell. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to start with the African American's eye. He's here on the left, and I'm using the same board that I've been using now for the last 2 weeks. It was all ready, and so we're going to get started with that. I'm going to start with my shading first, so we're gonna go with the Coalwood, the flat round. Let's see here. I've got it turned on and heating up, and I've kept the black and white photo close by so I can see it, and I gotta make sure I stay where you guys can see it. I think I'm going to start with the eyelid. Oops, still hot. I'm going to bump it down to right around half. So, oh, and I'm joined with hubby.
Hubcap.
Reading the comments. Sorry, little frazzled today. One of our fur babies is in surgery right now, and just trying to get through everything. So we'll get started here. This is actually a shadow for the eyelashes, and I will put more detail in. Do I need to zoom in for anybody?
Angel is here.
Hi, Angel. Of course, Connell, I have diplomatic immunity. It's mine. All mine. Oh, do you have it? Well, let's see if you're good. Alright, so I'm going to put in, this is a little darker area, so I'm going to get that in first so I can erase my pencil line. And it gets thinner and smaller as we go closer to the inner eye. I've only ever done one portrait, and that was hubby's. So this shall be interesting.
You mean in pyrography?
In pyrography, yes. I've done it in graphite, but I have not. I've only done yours in pyrography. Alright, so this end is a little darker, and I will put in the tone of the gentleman's skin, but I really want to get some of these more prominent landmarks of the face in. That way I can get rid of most of these pencil lines quickly. And I tried to go with all different eye shapes, skin tones, because we're all beautifully different. Let's see here. Make sure I get it. And I'm using the same heat. I haven't bumped up. I'm just moving quickly.
Grace's power has been out for the last 2 days.
Oh no, Grace. Well, I'm glad you're here. Now I did, these are royalty-free photos. So I wish I could tell you who they are. But some of these have bigger highlights in them, and I can keep them the way they are, or I can actually change those, and I'll figure that out as we go, especially the baby's eye. It's very detailed. Now, I'm not going fully black on the pupil yet, and in the photo, I don't know how well you can see it, it doesn't stand out.
We have Brooke's Creative Endings in chat.
Hi, Brooke.
Shelby Burns.
Brooke is down south of Tucson.
Oh, Shelby Burns is working on their first portrait now.
Hi, Shelby.
And Caitlin Broderick.
Hi, Caitlin.
And she's wishing us well with Layla.
Oh, well, thank you. We weren't expecting her to end up in emergency surgery. Like kids, which we have 4 of those, it can be quite stressful. Now, I'm not putting in every eyelash, just enough so I can get rid of that pencil line and go. I'm trying not to burn over every bit of the graphite because it will show through on the lighter part of the burnings. Get that in there. And then I'll start darkening up stuff. I know the iris is going to be a darker brown. And just so everybody knows, we've left our phones on because Layla is in surgery. And if they need to get a hold of us, we need to know what's going on. So we've left those on. Oops. Oh well.
The viewership might actually know Layla if they watch the Oblivious video.
Yes. Layla, the oblivious dog with...
she's not oblivious.
No, she's not. She knows what's going on. She is the one in surgery. She goes and gets stardom and has to go and get sick.
Diva move.
Diva move? He's a sweetheart. But she gets to come home today, so that's good. He is missed. With this, I'm just trying to get those darker details in, but this is going to go much darker. And the eye always has a shadow from the lid, and that's what the shadow and highlights are what make it look more realistic. Alright, so get that taken out. Now the white of the eye will be lightly burned, and then there's highlights in it, and we'll leave those. I went ahead and pulled some color pencil. I didn't know if I was going to add any color to it. I just wanted to be ready. Pulled out my Pablos. I need to move my reference photo a little bit so I can see it better. Let's see here, I'll put it on this side of my hand. Alright. So, I think now we can start going a little darker. Underneath the eye is a bit of a, I wouldn't say a bag, just the crease. And that is a little darker on his skin. So how's everybody else doing?
Andrew's asking where Paul is.
I did send him a message. I hope he is feeling okay today. He has had some computer issues and some medical issues, so hopefully he will join us. This area is a little lighter because the light is hitting underneath the crease. And the creases are important, but if you make them too dark on a younger person, you will age them. And on the baby skin, They really don't have a whole lot of creases at all. And so that's definitely something to pay attention to. If you're doing a portrait either for a gift or for a commission, you don't want to age your person.
Michael Ann.
Hi, Michael Ann.
Hello. Caitlin Broderick has a question.
Yes, please.
But first, as far as we know, she's okay. But that's why we have our phones on. So, Caitlin's question. She's asking, do you prefer a cold wood machine versus others like razor tip? I'm new to pyrography and I'm exploring which machine to choose.
I actually have to do an updated video because I have 5 at my disposal. I would say, me personally, that razor tip is number 5 out of the 5. It is not my favorite. Coalwood is number 2, and currently the Optima 1 is my number 1.
Wow.
But the Coalwood's really close. It's they're both very versatile, and I'm enjoying them both. And then if you can get a hold of an old nibs burner, those are good ones. You can find those sometimes on eBay used when people lose interest in a hobby after they've gone all in and they sell their stuff. An old nibs burner would also be up there for me. But unfortunately the tips, things have changed with them, and I'm actually not too happy about that. Okay, so we're darker on this end, lighter in this.
Connell is asking if you've done anything that's Mexican related. He'd love to see that.
Mexican related. I haven't burned the boys, so...
That sounds bad.
I know. My sons are half Hispanic, that's why I said that. No, I haven't. And it's not for any other reason other than I mainly do animals. I'm open to all kinds of stuff. Is there a particular style? I love Frida. She is one of my favorite artists. And I think that has more to do, though, with her physical issues that she went through.
Yeah, because your style is nothing like hers.
No, it's not. But I do think she has some...
And you don't have a unibrow.
No.
That's nice.
No, that's nice? Okay, note to self. No unibrow. Hubby doesn't care for them. But I do like the symbolism in her work. I do like how she expressed herself. So are you talking something like that, Connell? Or is there...
Meg Kearns says, yay, Wednesday. Hi, all.
Hi, Meg. Let's see here. So I'm trying to do these quickly. I do want to get through all of them.
Chad's asking what happened to Layla.
It's fine. Go ahead.
She has an internal infection that's really pretty bad, and we thought it was a flu. It wasn't the flu. Something much worse. And
she has what's called pyrometra. She finished her heat cycle, and unfortunately, apparently some bacteria got up into her uterus and actually made her deathly ill. On Monday, she had already thrown up like 5 times, and we decided it was time to go, but we thought it was doggy flu. It was quite a shock to find out something different that we'd never heard of. So, she's in a very delicate spay operation right now. She's getting spayed.
Yeah. Angel Stewart's asking, I want Celtic art in any way. Not work of any kind. No, it says Frida's unibrow is beautiful.
Frida herself is beautiful.
That's very open-minded.
He definitely pulled off the unibrow.
I know. I couldn't have pulled it off. I had to get rid of mine. You kept talking.
Well, you just didn't rock it the way he does.
I guess not.
That's okay. But he definitely has her own style and had. And I have seen some of her work in public. The Phoenix Art Museum.
That's cool.
I went there just to see her art.
David Rooks is here.
Hi, David.
He says he's watching you now at work. So you can rest easy. I know you were worried.
Yes, always worried, David.
Oh.
Let's see here. There's some darker eyelashes that come down here. I might actually switch tips to the Optima Spear Shader because I can get into smaller areas easier. So I'll turn that off and switch down to... I'm so thankful that these heat up so quickly. As long as I hit the right switch. There we go. So this is the medium spear tip. And plugged in all the way. Right now this kind of looks like a female eye, so I really need to get in there. Now, like I said, there is shadow in the eye, so we need to put that in. Hopefully I'm on screen. Actually, probably need to go higher. There is a bit of a temperature difference between the Coalwood and the Optima.
The Optima is a finer adjustment, isn't it?
It is. There's a little bit more nuance to the lower heat settings. I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, another tip that would be good right here is the ball tip. I actually need to switch over to that. Biggest thing is trying to get rid of my pencils right now.
So Angel is asking at some point, can we get the machines listed?
Yes.
I think. Oh, but aren't you going to be doing another video?
I am going to be doing another video. I also
Yeah.
can post a file on the Facebook group, which I don't have on the screen, but I do have my Facebook page. I will put a file there.
Meg's asking an interesting question.
Yeah.
She says, I'm traveling a bit soon and will have time to finish some orders while I'm away. Any tips for traveling with my burner?
If you have a case, let's see here, she's got the razor tip. I would definitely get, even if it's a fishing tackle box, those work as good cases so that things aren't bouncing around and wires aren't coming loose. I think that's part of what happened with my old nibs burner. I've flown with my nibs burner, wood burner. It's been a long time though. And make sure you have an extension cord just in case.
I wouldn't try and take it as carry-on, in your pocket and wrap the wires all around you.
No.
I think that might turn out bad.
Yeah. I promise it's not what you think it is.
No, it just burns really hot. No,
Yeah,
it's for art.
This is art stuff. It's not what you think. Alright, so now I'm going to go a little slower and kind of on the edge so I can just get a smaller area. And
Angel's question, I'm not sure if is she asking the Toasties as a group for not work artwork, or
I think he's asking for me. And I do have a piece that it's a collaboration I've kind of been working on, and it does have Celtic knots.
oh, with Richie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I have to get it done.
So stay tuned.
I haven't done knots in a long time.
Yeah, you've not done them.
I have not done them.
You're busy. No, that's serious. You're busy in between modding and working on like 5 projects at once, and doggies, and
you
dealing with my drama every day.
You drama?
Yeah.
There will be a new Oblivion.
Goddamn diva.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're my diva. There will be a new Oblivion Part 2 up.
Oblivious.
Sorry.
Get it right. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'll have that up by Friday. And I need to do an intro for it.
Well, we're going to do the teaser trailer first.
Is that what? Okay, so Friday will be the teaser trailer.
And then the video will follow at some point. Angel's asking, do you have a page or a channel? Meg would love to see your work.
I'm on all of the social media is down in the description. I do have that. And there's also, I started a drawing with Fire Pyrography group, so you guys can post your art. And Andrew is modding that for me. I got the eyelashes too close together. That's alright. Alright, I'm going to bump up the heat more now. Oh, what I didn't kind of put in are the lines for his brows.
And how far will you be bumping it up?
We're going to do it half increments until I get where I want.
David Rooks asks, since you're demoing different kinds of eyes, are you going to be showing a pirate eye with an eye patch?
Yeah, I should have just put a patch and said, here you go. Here's an eye. Would have been a lot easier and quicker.
Awesome. The letter I.
Eye. Oh yeah, could have done that too. Yeah, gotta. All right, now we can start putting in more detail. I am going to switch over to the ball tip. For Optima, it is the medium ball tip. I'll just use the cord I'm already using. Oh, I already switched.
Hugel Designs
Hey, Gareth.
wants to see your kit.
My kit.
Yeah, you know what?
Which one?
Watch the video.
Which one?
Yeah. Oh, he says, what burner? I am confused.
This one right here is the Optima.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Colwood, Super Pro 2, Burnmaster Eagle, Nibs Burner Dual, and Razor Tip SSDK 10. Or S10. Yeah. What is it? SSD 10. There we go. Alright, so the ball tip is heated up. The ball tips do take a little longer because there's so much metal in one location. But I have noticed that the Optima ball tips, because they are the original ball tips, are quicker to heat up. And that helps. This is like drawing with a pen, just a regular pen. It has a big ball on the end. They do very much like my ball tips. Shading in here. This is going to have to go darker. Alright, so I'm going to bump it up to 3. And I may have to switch over to the Colwood ball tip because I have the smaller one I don't have the smaller one for Optima yet. I will, but I don't have it now.
Well, Google Design says that they can't see the difference between a $20 or a $500 kit.
Oh, there is a big difference. I have a couple, the sunflower wood burning, I have a playlist for that. I used the Walnut Hollow Versatile. There's a big difference. It depends on what you like, though. I like my professional burners, and not one of my burners are $500.
Well, you know, if I could do a metaphor, because you know I love those.
Yes, you do.
So the difference between a basic burner and a professional grade burner is a lot like the difference between having, we'll say a 1970 Dodge Dart and having.
Why that one?
I think maybe my parents owned one. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, or a Gremlin. Let's just say a Gremlin.
Oh gosh.
All right. So having a Gremlin, and then having like.
Oh, Gareth is over in the UK.
Oh, well.
So they may not know what gremlins are.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. You can correct me if you'd like, but I think that they do. So, and then having, I'm not even going to say like a fancy car, but just having a current, car that with the amenities. And the difference is that a Gremlin is still going to get you to all the same places, but it's going to be a lot more pleasant than the other car, and it's going to be easier, and it's going to be quicker.
Very true.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm switching over to the smaller ball tip. I need to be able to get into areas.
But it will get you there. So if comfort and speed is not an issue, and you just want to enjoy the journey, and you don't care how you get there, then by all means, enjoy the Gremlin. If that's what you want, but so much more comfortable in something a little bit more comfortable.
Alright, we're gonna go with the super pointy one, actually. This isn't the ball tip, this is smaller.
Super pointy?
Super pointy.
That's a technical term?
Very technical.
Okay.
Super pointy.
And then Google Designs also, Val put out a burner video review, and
A long time ago.
Yeah, she's going to be updating that, so there'll be it'll be more
In depth,
and will include the Optima. And is there anything else?
It's going to be all 5 of the burners.
So all 5 of the major burners. And, so I guess that should answer your question.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I really need to get it done, though, with the holidays. People are looking to upgrade.
Yeah.
Let me see. So this is very small.
David Ricks says it's probably like, would you rather draw with Crayola colored pencils or with polychromos?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely with Crayola.
You want the Crayola?
They smell so good. They taste so good. I mean,
you're not supposed to eat your crayons.
I've heard that, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get this area darker. I only grabbed it because it was the first one I saw. And it does have a small tip. But this one does kind of score the wood. So you have to be careful. I keep bumping up the heat. I'm at 2.5 with the coal wood. I don't want him to look like he has eyeliner on. Kind of does. Let's see here.
Well, I think that without the reference of having the rest of the face there, I think that the dark shadow lines, I think that's going to be the impression of eyeliner.
Yeah. See, I can still go darker. But at this point, I do want to... It's scoring the wood, and that's not what I want for this particular one. So I'm going to carefully, because that's still hot, pop that off, and go for the original tip I wanted. That's the small one. Alright, so this is the small one. Just pop it in there. Turn this one on, hopefully. Because it's smaller, it won't take as long to heat up as the other ball tips do. There we go. Much better. Gives me a little bit more surface area. I'm not wanting fine details yet.
So Hugo asks, I'm not a do-it-yourself person, but isn't wood quite expensive? So if you make a mistake, do you have to sand it down?
It depends on how dark you have done your original burn. If you've done like a light burn here, like in this area, the skin, you could scratch it out, depending on how big it is, or just use a small piece of sandpaper, like this, just to get into the area. Yeah, or depending on how you messed up, you could deepen the burn and go over it, so it's not as obvious. That's the one I try to do the most.
I think from the outside looking in, for me, the easiest way to explain pyrography it's very similar to like pen and ink or tattoo work.
Yes.
That you have to work carefully and work in layers and build up your values so that if you have mistakes, then hopefully you catch them when they're small or
not as prominent.
Slight mistakes. So
I have had to go back and really sand down a whole area. In fact, it happened on the raccoon. Not going to tell you where, but it did. And I had to do a lot of sanding just in the one area, but trying to keep from putting an indent in the wood. So I had to kind of blend out my sanding so it was more even.
So Angel's asking which burner is a non-gremlin burner. I think
non-gremlin.
I think any one of them that has, the professional grade features, which is like, heat control knobs, different tips.
They're all good burners.
You answered that question.
Yeah.
It's your channel. What am I doing here?
Oh, they're all good burners. If I only had one, I probably wouldn't notice the differences between them. And it's whatever you're comfortable with. Any of the 5. Though Nibs burner, actually I need to see any of the 4. Nibs burner isn't even available right now.
Oh.
So it's going to make it harder for me to do the video. But I can figure it out. Alright, so now start darkening this eye because I really want to move over. And quickly so I can get a little lighter burn without having to constantly readjust. And there are nuances. Let's see here. There's actually different areas of the highlight that is lighter or darker than some. And see, his skin tone could go darker too. It should. Side color in.
Maureen McDonald says hi.
Hi, Maureen.
This looks awesome.
Thank you. Maureen is Hildine's other mod.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Angel. I know I'm lucky. I don't know about Val. I know I'm lucky.
I'm lucky-ish. No, I'm lucky.
Accurate.
No, I'm lucky. Alright. I think that's as dark as I'm going to go with that for now until I adjust the skin more. It's definitely just a back and forth until I get the tones that I want. I have... Oops, sorry.
So Andrew got a new tablet, but he still can't hear us.
Yeah, I know. That's what he's been watching. I have no clue what's going on with that.
I wonder if he put in closed caption. I wonder if Google would do that.
YouTube has closed caption.
I wonder if it's a... Well, I just wonder if it would work or not.
I blew on the tip just for a second so I could touch down without the dreaded blobs. The blob. Alright. I'm going to slow down.
Angel says that her dogs, a train went by and they howl like wolves.
Oh, Gareth asked about wood. I order my wood. He asked about fixing it. Never mind.
But he also asked about wood.
I get my wood from, most of the time from Dick Blick.
And is it expensive?
Depends on the size. The really big size, like 18 by 24, I think is about... I think it's... Can't quote me on this because I haven't looked in a while. It's right around like 25 for 2. The smaller pieces, I can get a pack of 5 for under $10.
Oh, wow.
And that's for the birch. Just the birch panels.
Beetle in a Box is joining us in chat.
Hey, Beetle.
So Angel's power is out, and Grace's power was off, and apparently is on again. What's the deal?
I don't know.
Everybody's losing power.
Weather. We're the only one having good weather, which
true.
isn't really good weather for me.
I
But
know. Let's not get you started. If you get started, I'll get started on the other thing that you don't want mentioned in chat.
No, don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. I can go higher. I'm at just shy of 4, and I'm just doing that so that I can get a darker tone without slowing down. There are highlights along his eyelid. I'm definitely going to have those.
Weather. Angel says it's gremlins.
Oh. Mean gremlins?
Not the car, though.
No, I know.
Well, we were just talking about this.
Do you have gremlins on the brain?
Grace says, now you must mention. I don't know what Grace is talking about.
It always gets Eve all happy. Is that what you're talking about?
What, Grace?
No, what you're not supposed to say.
Oh, yeah, Eve gets excited about that too, huh? The thing that I'm not supposed to say.
We don't even have marshmallows. Or not enough.
Well, you've alluded to it now.
Alright, so I think...
Torch. Whoops!
You said it! I thought you weren't going to.
I know. But
Okay, let's get a few of the creases.
But in Britain, that just means a flashlight. People could be confused.
That's true.
People could be confused.
But Eve knows what it is.
Okay. David Rooks is asking, is there anything else other than wood or gourds that you can do with pyrography?
Leather, watercolor paper, paper in general, bone, unprimed when in canvas. Let's see here. Those are the main ones off the top of my head.
Did you say paper?
Paper, yep.
Okay.
Trying to blend this out a little bit. And we're going to move on, I think, to...
Like anything that's a natural
substance
or fiber is... Anything artificial is no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah, so... Yeah, plastic and vinyl and...
MDF board, you don't want to burn on that.
Anything that's got chemicals in it is bad. Well, artificial. Man-made chemicals.
Yeah. Well, some wood is toxic to burn on.
That's true too.
But nothing that I show. So. Oh, and I do have another. I still need to review it. Give it a try. I also have another substrate that I'm going to be burning on. That is a very similar to both wood and paper.
Shelby Burns says, I want to do some skulls. Now, is that, you want to do
you can burn
depictions of skulls?
No, he wants to burn on the skulls.
Ooh, no more questions.
Yeah, you can burn on animal skulls. I just don't have one. It'll smell like a dental office.
Yes.
So if you have an aversion to the dentist's office, you might not want to do it.
Yeah.
A big piece anyway. I think you could try all of the different things available until you find exactly what you like. Alright, so I could go darker. The eyelashes need to be smoother, more filled in. I don't feel like switching pens. And I want to move over to the BB face because that's a lot smoother and whatnot. Unfortunately, I still haven't gotten this gentleman's skin dark enough, but
well,
watch for the highlights.
Yeah. But that's a process, getting it to the right.
It is getting the different layers in.
Angel wants to burn some staffs. She wants to make a Celtic Gandalf staff.
Cool. I haven't done any staffs. I'm so far behind on everything I need to do. It would, and YouTube does take a lot of time. Alright, so I would keep building up this gentleman's skin because there's definitely beautiful different tones within it that definitely help bring out the eye a bit more. Like I said, not every eyelash goes in. A lot of times eyelashes are in clumps. And so you only want a few that kind of stand out from the rest. And the shadow underneath the lid helps give a roundness. I'm a little too dark on the waterline here on the edge, but that could be easily corrected with adding a little bit of colored pencil.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. In fact, I can use the tone of the wood. I did pull out watercolor pencils, and since I'm not going to burn any further on this gentleman, I'm going to use the Pablo Carandash cream to just go a little lighter on his waterline. These pencils are a little bit more opaque. And then use the white for the highest part of the highlight, making sure to go with the shape of the eye. He has a few, let's see here, he's got a little bit of white here. And in this case, I'm using the wood color itself as a lighter mid-tone. But now that I've done this, I can't burn over any of these areas. And it just has to be okay. I think it's just a little bit that I've put on, I think, has given it a little bit more of a 3D feel.
Beetle in a Box has been practicing their pyrography on wooden kitchen spoons.
Oh, that's cool. Got a little bit of a highlight above on the lash. And there's a highlight here. It's not a high highlight, so I wouldn't put any color right there. I would definitely though darken the eyebrows and make them a little smoother. And because I didn't put any color pictures up, he does have some beautiful brown eyes, so we can go in and just add a little bit. And this one is russet. Just to give it a little bit more depth to it. So hopefully, let's see here, I'll put it right by the picture. Did I get close?
Yeah, looks close to me.
Definitely helps having the pattern already laid out, not trying to do this freehand. Nothing wrong with it, it just gets me frazzled. Alright, now let's move on to... What time is it? I have a feeling we might not be able to do all three.
It is 1:45.
Okay. Do you guys want the baby eye or the old gentleman eye? That's the baby eye. Yeah, I know that they're
Yep.
behind.
Yeah, we'll need some time for chat to catch up.
Yeah, I think actually the baby eye would be the best to do with time because there's less.
Less detail.
There's less detail.
Less features, not detail.
Yeah.
Detail is
so.
Features.
All right. Let's switch over to this little guy. I'm gonna bump down my heat again.
Shelby Burns says freehand is not for me.
I can do freehand. I don't want to do freehand. And last Wednesday really cemented that. The hair was so bad.
Chat's starting to answer, but
yeah. Baby old. Let's see here.
He agrees with you.
Which part?
Old baby.
Yeah, old baby. I can't do old baby. This is a lot more detail, and like we did here, you would definitely make sure to put the older person's wrinkles in because that's a part of them. I know a lot of people try to shy away from wrinkles, but that's just a part of who we are when we get older.
That's right. So I recognize myself in the mirror now.
So the baby eye gives me a little more area to work, so I can get a little bit more detailed. And we have less to put in, which means I could actually get it done. If you guys want a video on the eye, I think I could do a quick one on the eye. It'll be a speed burning, but I can try to get that up before next week's live. And for next week's live, do you want mouths or noses? Mouths or noses?
And while we're waiting on that, David Rooks has an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the art of pyrography going away in the future since the cost of laser etching and engraving machines keep going down?
No, I don't. And Andrew is definitely going to chime in on that question. No, I don't, because pyrography is one of the ancient arts, and though it didn't start getting like huge notice for people in general until the 1800s, it was called poker art. I don't think, even with machines, that it will ever go away, because what I can do for a burning, a laser machine can't do. They might be able to, there is a bit of pixelation and nuance that the machine just doesn't pick up on. It's good for quantity, but not quality.
Why is chat all yelling noses?
Oh, because for next week, they want noses. They want noses. Then we'll do mouths. So noses next week. Go quicker on this one. This is a darker crease. It will be darkened up. Come on.
I mean, we had the same question at the turn of the century when, well, not turn of the last century.
Yeah.
When photography started getting popular, you know, would artists still be relevant? And because
Oh, that's true.
you can, you know, because at that time, you know, photography was getting really popular because people could have, you know, even people who weren't well off could have, you know,
Your photo taken.
perfect photo representation. And prior to that, they would have had to have gone to an artist of some type. And if they wanted something really nice, they would have had to go to a portrait artist, and that would have been really expensive. So it was thought for a little while that that like portrait art was not going to exist anymore. But there's something about what people bring to a piece of work that a machine can't quite replicate. And I mean, even if the machine could replicate it, there's
Well, the lasers do
yeah
pretty well.
There's something about having something handmade that is still appealing, and so, no, I don't think that pyrography will be going away.
I do follow a couple of people on Instagram who that's how they do their burning, and I don't like taking away from anybody's art, but I think they could do better by hand.
Well, I don't.
If they chose to.
I don't.
It just doesn't look right. It feels stiff and.
Well, at that point, you know, what's the difference between an artist and a technician?
Yeah. Well, we had that conversation too.
Yeah. Actually, Joe, I already had pizza. I had it prior to coming to the studio. I didn't want to be crunchy like last time, so.
Computers can make art, but when you take people out of the equation, I think it loses a lot. And with the laser, I mean, I have actually lost business to a laser.
Sure. I mean,
back in 2012, a guy was commissioning me to. Oops, sorry, I always forget about that. Was commissioning me to burn on his girlfriend's guitar, and I took the time to make the pattern and go through everything that needed to be done. He loved the pattern, knew how much it was going to cost him to have me do it, and then all of a sudden I got an email asking if he could buy the art, that his friend had a laser machine and he was going to laser etch and burn it. So I sold him the artwork because it wasn't artwork that I would use for anything else, and said bye-bye. And now if he wanted a piece of my work, he'd be spending even more money.
That's true. Yeah, and that is hard when you're in a commercial market, because people who want something, they get the idea like, oh, I'd really like something, wood burned, but then they see the cheaper alternative and they're like, oh, I could have this in 15 minutes. I'm gonna go do that. But it's not the same, and then if you think about it, if you're receiving the gift too, it's like, I guess it depends on what kind of value you want that gift to have. Do you want it to be art, or do you want it to be just something kind of cool? Because if you're receiving something that's a beautiful design, it's like, here, I got this for you. It's a beautiful design, wood burned, and but it, they ask how it was done. It's like, well, it's on a laser machine. It took about 15 minutes. As opposed to, I had this commissioned by hand. This took 40 or 50 hours, and it's a one of a kind thing. That has a lot more.
Can't be replicated again, exactly.
This has a lot more value, in my opinion.
Now this eraser that I've pulled out is the mono sanded eraser for ink. I wanted to try it on wood with graphite to see how it did with the wood. And so far, it seems to work well. I showed it in the speed version of the hair that I posted yesterday. This in.
David's asking, but doesn't a human still have to make the image for the machine to burn?
They do. But when the arm is moving back and forth, it's no different than, say, sometimes on a printer, if you don't have a clear photo and you don't have that high resolution, it's got the pixelation, like when you enlarge it. That is how I've seen the pieces that have come off of there.
I have a good answer for this. Because you can get the Mona Lisa on the back of your phone case.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a piece of art, right? So, but the phone case itself is not considered art. The original piece is considered art because that's where the interaction took place. And so...
What do you mean that's where the interaction took place?
Between the artist and and the substrate. So,
okay.
So when you're talking about replication, that's why prints, especially mass-produced prints or anything else, aren't, they're not as expensive. And I guess that's the difference. You're putting something into a laser etching machine. You can, in fact, laser Mona Lisa onto something, but it's not.
It's not the Mona Lisa.
It's not Da Vinci's work, It's a replica, and therein lies the difference. And then again, it's down to preference, because maybe that's what some people want. When I managed the gallery, there were people who came in that were adamant that they wanted the dogs playing cards, that they wanted that. They didn't understand why we didn't have pre-framed ones hanging in the gallery. And it's like, well, that's a cool painting, really, honestly, objectively, but it's, it's not something that
it's mass-produced art.
Yeah, it's mass-produced at this point, so, but some people want that, and that's okay, because it's for a different market. It's for different people. For like, I like hand-bound leather sketchbooks. That's what I like. I could sketch on anything else, no problem, but I really like the hand-bound ones, and that's my preference.
I need to finish yours.
So, it all comes down to preference. So.
And art's a luxury. It's not a.
Sure.
It's not a necessity.
Okay. Grace, you will know how to eat, because next time I will eat something. But I was eating very quietly. I was eating beans and rice. Beans over rice here. But I did have my pizza outside because it was crunchy and I didn't want it to be distracting. But next time I will let you know. I'll be like, Grace, it's time to eat. Let's see. And I'll eat something. I'll let you know when I'm eating.
Discuss.
So we can discuss, yes.
Alright, I'm trying to make this smoother.
Oh, Michael Ann's leaving chat.
Oh, Oh, bye, Michael Ann. Thank you for coming.
Hopefully she's not already gone, because I am back. I am backlogged here.
I'm going to be bumping up the heat here in a few.
And that's true. You do lose detail when you mass produce, and that's the thing. It's like you can... I mean, there are really great... There's sites that you can visit to view, you know, art at high quality. You know, so you can get down and see the individual brush strokes, but then you're getting down to anything that's replicated. It's replicated as much as technology will allow, which is still to a really fine degree, so much so that most people might not notice, you know. But there are things smaller than what can be replicated mechanically, and that's, I think that's maybe what we see and feel in art. It's original. You're seeing all those individual things that you can't replicate. That's why standing in front of a original is a different experience than standing in front of a replication, even when it's the same size.
Let's get some detail in.
Unless you don't like art, then it doesn't matter.
Well, I think everybody in here likes art.
Well, probably. I hope so.
I'm going to start getting some of the darks in there.
The beetle in the box says, I can never get rid of pencil marks with the eraser. It just smudges everywhere, and then I have to use a razor blade and gently scrape the mess off. It comes down to eraser, right?
Well, yeah, what eraser are you using? Though I used to use, and sometimes still do, an electric eraser, white plastic. If you're using any of the other colors, I don't think they work as well. I know the pink ones do not work. Those do smear. Let's come on. Yeah, if you can tell me what eraser you're using, maybe that will help. Let's see here.
Angel's going to make homemade potato soup.
Ooh, I like that.
Me too. Irish. All meals start with spuds. It's not a bad thing. You know how I feel about potatoes.
I love potatoes. Yep. I hadn't gone as well with the direction of the rawness of the iris, so I'm trying to fix that. I'm not going to put every nuance to the eye. In general, you might do an eye this size, maybe at the size of the baby, but unless you're just burning eyes for a piece, the eyes are going to be smaller, so there'll be less of the detail being put in. I wanted to make sure that you guys could see it. Alright.
Angel's asking, what do you think of your electric pencil eraser?
I like that one better, the Helix, better than the Derwent. I'm actually not using it as much anymore, though.
Because you just don't make mistakes.
Yeah, right. Don't scare them like that. No, because the Vanish 4-in-1 eraser does a better job removing the graphite. Alright. Get some of that shading in under the... Let's see here. We do have... And when you're doing skin around the creases, go with the crease, not just back and forth, but kind of curve it a little bit. That's what helps give more of a 3D feel.
Oh, okay.
Because we got a lot of dark in here. This darker. And the darkness kind of curves over the crease. I'm going to bump up to 1.5.
Angel, I'm looking back further in chat. Angel's made a remark that she hates those graphite marks. She's heavy-handed. Like, and I understand that too, because I can be pretty heavy-handed, especially when I get focused and I start using my iron fist technique of drawing. I've broken pencils before.
Really?
Yeah, because I grip too tight. And
I'm trying to be better about that.
really, honestly, it's if you can get into a place where you're not gripping the pencil or whatever you're using as tightly, it'll be a much more pleasant experience, you know. And I would suggest that, you know, try holding your pencil differently to get out of that habit.
More towards the end of it?
Yeah.
Almost like a paintbrush?
Yeah, you know. Because, you know, once you're able to do that, and it's hard to do, but once you're able to loosen that grip a little bit, then a lot of the other problems go away too, because then you have better control, and then you don't have indentations in the paper or the surface and all kinds of stuff.
Your hand.
Your pencils last longer. You don't get cramps in your hands. Like when I'm writing something, like if I'm writing an essay at school or something for a test, like I get hand cramps because I'm grabbing the pen so hard. So, like in 10 minutes.
I can make my hand go numb. Burning. For the same
competition.
For the same reason. I'm just saying I do the same thing. Let me make sure I'm not under the picture. Alright, so here we have a highlight. These larger highlights, especially when you've got a photo closer to the subject, you'll get, depending on, of course, the angle and the lighting, you're going to get these brighter highlights. And some of these will show more detail. Like right here in the picture, I don't think you guys can see as well. It almost looks there. I can see sky in the background.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, in fact, I have the color version that probably would show better.
See, and that's something too. It's like reflections in the eyes are tricky because they are literal reflections of the
this is
in front of them.
Yeah, sky and clouds are in here. If you're changing the background to your burning, you have to pay attention to what you decide to put in the highlight because it would reflect into the eye. So if you're adding colors and you're changing a blue sky to an orange sky for whatever reason, you need to put the orange in there if you're coloring the piece. It's just little nuanced things to pay attention to. Let's see here. Yeah, little man, little one, I don't know which, has some eyelashes there. We got a bit of a crease here.
Eve says electric erasers are a bit more hardcore than a regular eraser. They rotate so fast they're often able to erase better.
Yeah.
It's true. And then, like, for me, in my work, if I'm doing graphite, then like, a lot of times I don't end up using the electric eraser until the very end. And, like, just to get those, like, fine highlights in the eyes.
Yeah, it's a tool, and a drawing tool in itself.
Yeah.
Alright. So we have a bit more color or tone along the waterline. And the actual pupil.
What's funny is when I went to my drawing 1 class,
yeah,
and I had an electric eraser with me.
Was it all quiet and then you turned it on?
Yeah, it was really awkward, and people kept looking, and nobody knew what it was. And somebody said that they thought that I had some kind of dental tool in there, and I was like, "No, it's an eraser." And they're like, "What?"
They didn't know?
They did not know.
Oh, wow. Well, it was drawing 1, so.
Yeah.
Alright, switching over to the medium spear.
Okay.
And then I'll add a little color to it just so we can see how it looks. I'm actually really happy with the first eye.
Yeah.
I've
really
never
nice.
done... that's only the second eye I've ever done.
Huh.
Human eye.
Well, third.
Well, third, technically, because you do have two eyes.
Yeah. I'm not wearing a patch.
Alright, I bumped up the heat a little bit. I'm going to get my darks in there.
Well, Angel wants an electric racer from Santa now.
Well, they do make good stocking stuffers.
That's true.
Alright, so there's no lashes coming down over the eye because from this angle, the photographer, the child was looking up, and that's what the photographer got. So that's why we're seeing the underneath of the eyelid right here. So that puts our eyelashes a little higher up. Bump this up to higher.
You do something that not all people do.
What's that?
Well, you're holding your work sideways, and even the reference that's not on the screen for the eye is still straight on. And what I found is that for some people, that is a very difficult thing to do, is to view a reference from one angle and then draw it at a different angle. So,
Yeah.
you're doing your actual drawing at 90 degrees difference from the reference, and that can be tricky.
My brain, I guess I'm lucky. My brain,
You're in the zone.
I'm in the zone. My brain transfers it. I will flip my reference photo, but for what I'm doing right here, I don't need to.
Angel's asking that. No way that eye is so good. Valarie, did you take art classes?
I have had a total of 3 art classes when I was working on my master's in clinical psychology. I wanted a...
You're so smart.
I wanted a specialty certificate in art therapy. I was going to be working with Alzheimer's and dementia patients. And so I had to take 9 credit hours of art. Didn't matter what kind of art, just art. So I took, my first class was life drawing. My second class was drawing 1, of which the teacher saw one of my works and immediately bumped me up to drawing 2. And then I went into drawing 3, and that teacher saw my work, so bumped me up to drawing 4. That is the only art classes I've had.
See, and when I went to college, it was different. I went into class, and they saw my work, and they're like, get out.
No. You've been going
You're hopeless.
No.
You need to leave now.
You've been going to
Stop deluding yourself.
No.
You're not an artist.
No.
Get out of here.
No. You've made this school a lot of money.
David Rooks actually, well, we just answered his question.
Oh.
But we didn't answer his question, but we kind of addressed it. So when you're turning the wood, though, what he wants to know is, are you doing that because it helps with the tool? Like, are you doing it because of the shape of the tip, or are you doing that to turn it as a matter of convenience for you?
It's convenience for me. I don't want to stand on my head to get at an angle to change, so I can move the board around, and it's just easier for that angle. So I can get a better curve if I'm burning with the board up and down versus trying to get the curve like that. It's just not as smooth. So if I turn the board, I can get a smoother burn.
Yeah. Andrew says he stopped using normal graphite pencils. Now he uses a brown graphite pencil.
He's using Graphy tints to...
I really miss Paul and Chad. I feel like there would have been a comment about a brown pencil.
Then make it for him. You sure
I don't want Eve to yell at me.
Oh yeah, she'll take your star from last week.
I didn't get a star. Paul got a star.
Paul got the star.
I didn't get a star. God.
Alright, so he's gonna touch down and kind of
Brown pencil, go ahead and yell at me, Eve. Sorry, Mom. Angel Stewart says, it is so hard to be smart and hot, isn't it, Valarie?
Well, definitely hot.
I'm humble.
I am humble. Hot as in the pin being hot.
I know what she meant. And you are. Both of those things.
I don't know about smart, but I do like to learn. This crease is definitely darker, so...
You missed the point of that whole thing.
No, I guess I did. I'm sorry. I'm
focused. It's okay. I love you.
I love you. What did I miss?
No, you're hot. That's all.
Well, it's warm in here. I had the heater on earlier.
Oh my God. All right, let's just move on. Andrew says, whoa, even more impressive, Valarie. I think that he's talking about your education story.
Yeah.
So.
Can he hear?
Maybe.
Do we have his...
Andrew, can you hear us? That would be awesome.
Does he have his ears back?
Maybe. Unless he's referring to something else. I don't know.
Here. I'm just looking to see if it does need more dark here.
Oh, Eve's not paying attention. She has kitten drama.
Uh-oh. Kitten drama.
Means I can do whatever I want.
I'm going to switch you over to the ballpoint and to do my final darks, and then I'll add some colored pencil to it so we can just see the difference.
Okay.
I really am liking the other eye, just with the very light. It's an accent. It's not an in your face, you know. The red of the brown really helps, I think. Let me see if I can get... Yeah. Though it kind of looks odd because here I've got two eyes next to each other. They're not the same people. It's throwing me off.
Portraits by Valarie. What are you talking about? It looks exactly like you.
Give Van Gogh a run for his money.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently it's Van Gogh.
Van
Gogh. Whatever.
Yeah, it does kind of throw you off looking at the two eyes that have nothing in common other than their eyes.
Andrew cannot hear us, so I don't know what he was referencing. I can hear the dogs wandering around out there.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm gonna go check on them.
Okay.
I got a star!
You got a star?
Yeah. For dealing with you.
Hey!
I need a lot more stars.
No, I'm not that bad.
No, just
in
for
general.
just for you not understanding the whole hot conversation.
You assume I didn't understand.
All right. Be good, chat.
I'll glance.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Are you just going to let them out?
I'm going to see what's going on.
Can somebody type to Andrew that he's really got to try? Is he actually in the YouTube app, not YouTube on Chrome? YouTube on Chrome, for whatever reason, really lowers the volume. Let's see, that wasn't smooth. He was trying to get in. Few of the darks, and actually I probably should have gone with the bigger ball tip just because it's smoother when it goes over an area, because there's more surface to that tip. So I do think it needs color though. I think color will make the difference. I'm all tied up in these cords. I do need to organize all my burners. Alright, I'm back to the ball tip. Bumped up to 3.5. Oops, I guess it helps if I actually show you. Let's see. This will heat up and then I'll add some color. The picture has the child's eye as blue. I'll see what I have the most color-wise on the Pablos. We might change his eye or her eye, little one's eye, to green. I feel lost with hubby gone. Oh, I messed that eyelash up. Here, so there's eyelashes are grouped at the base, and that's what I'm trying to kind of thicken up a little bit. It's just the base. Let's see here. We'll darken this crease. Yeah, the larger ball tip's working better. There you are. I feel so lost without you. I've gotten so used to you being there.
I know. I'm used to me being here too. Amber was like, "Oh, you heard me. How about those snacks?"
Boom.
She didn't want out.
No.
No, she just wanted a handout.
What she does. Alright, just getting in the last of some of these darks. And then I'm going to add color. I think we're going to have to call it for the day. Have you gotten a phone call by any chance?
I have not. They said it was going to be a lengthy surgery, though.
Okay. Alright, so make sure I've got everything. Once I add that color, I don't want to touch it again, so let's put in a little bit more.
Angel says, "Okay, these two eyes together are freaking me out."
What's funny is probably nobody noticed it until I said something.
No, actually,
oh, were they?
Eve says, was it Eve? Hold on. Yeah, Angel. No, Angel's like, yeah, Angel noticed. She said she noticed, but she thought she was trying to be nice. And Grace says, "Was y'all just trying to keep this family friendly?" Because I don't know. Because if looking at the other eye,
yeah,
like it looked. There was a point in time when it kind of looked like a beak.
Oh.
Well, no, like not like if you cover the right eye.
Cover the right eye.
Yeah,
okay.
and then on the screen it was just part of the leaf, and it looked like a beak. The eye looked like a.
Oh, like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked weird.
It looks kind of like a duck like that if you're looking at the eye and the leaf.
Yeah, so Angel says, yeah, and Shelby needs skulls, so freaky session.
Alright. I got some darks in. Got things smoothed out. Trying to get a little bit of texture in there. Let's see here. Okay. What I haven't done, I don't think, is erased inside the eye completely. So I will kind of draw down into the highlight, but not completely. I'm just hitting it. See, that area is darker. It's a darker highlight.
These watercolor blocks look like delicious caramels.
Oh, those are Eve's watercolors. I still need to mail to her. They do. It's the colors she picked. Alright. So just a little bit of we have a highlight in the pupil, one next to the pupil. I can draw that in more with colored pencil. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use colored pencil or any color. Hopefully that still looks like an eye even without. And I would I would spend more time putting in more of the darker lines, but because I'm adding color and trying to do this a little quicker so we have some finished stuff, I didn't take that time, but I would if I was doing a regular portrait.
Andrew says he started practicing Elliot with just a single eye. You know where that led me.
Oh, gorilla. His gorilla.
Oh, okay.
Elliot is his gorilla.
Oh.
That's what Mandy named the gorilla.
Andrew has a gorilla?
He burned a gorilla. He burned a wood burning of a gorilla.
Wow, you heard my question before you even asked it. Because I was like, Andrew has a gorilla in his house? That's freaking amazing.
No, he wood burned.
Artists are interesting people.
A gorilla.
Shelby burns skulls. Andrew has a gorilla in his house.
Alright. I think... Again, make sure you pay attention to your creases. See, these are little... Those can go a little darker, I think, because the eye is darker. So I'm going in long ovals, trying to keep the same temperature. Little one has a few bags. Let's not be sleeping. Put those together. I would burn more of the skin. There's not high highlights there, so... This would be better with the spear shader, but I don't want to switch again. So... Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you don't want to switch again? It's just for time? Or
yeah, just time.
You can do the same thing with what you've got?
I would suggest for the area of skin, like what I'm trying to do, if you're going to use ball tips, this area would be a larger ball tip.
Okay.
So that you get a more even burn. I would switch over to the spear shader, I think, yeah. Or the flat round, actually. Either one, the Coalwood or the Optima would work. Mm. Or a spoon shader if you've got one. But at this point, I'm just trying to... That's cool.
That fits in with the skulls and Andrew's gorilla. But she does have a question. How long have you been doing pyrography to get this good?
I started burning in 2005. So
you're like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, no. 12 years.
12
But
years.
I was also doing other art. I started with hard pastels and pastel pencils from my bed, and I moved over to colored pencils and graphite.
Angel says, "Don't burn the baby skin down." It's okay because you're using the Johnson & Johnson tip.
No more tears.
Okay.
I got it. I'll give you a star for that one.
Oh, thank you. I got 2 stars today.
Sympathy stars.
Oh. Just took the specialness right out of that one, didn't you? Beetlebox is asking, a beetle in a box is asking, doesn't an eraser erase some of the surface burn shadows off as well?
Nope.
She has noticed that the first burning I made a picture of my cat has faded a lot in a couple weeks because I did not protect it.
Yes. Seal your pieces. You spent all that wonderful time burning it. If this was a portrait or just a burning in general, where I've added color, since I would be adding a little bit of color to the piece, I would do 2 coats of clear spray sealant, thin coats, and that locks down the color. So when you go to brush on the rest of the sealant, it does not move. And I have done that before. The first time I added color to a burning with colored pencil, and that colored pencil moved, I was kind of freaking out because I did not know. And so learned the hard way. So spray seal I would just suggest spray sealing any color. If you've added any kind of color, watercolor, markers, anything, I would spray seal first, 2 thin coats, let those dry, and then brush on 2 to 3 more coats of clear. I use clear satin polyurethane. You got one of those too.
Not gold.
Alright, so is anybody seeing anything that I could quickly touch up on? I think at the crease, there is a darker crease right here.
Oh, Dorothy Smith is here.
Hi, Dorothy.
She's packing for the move back to Washington State.
Yay, she's finally getting to go. She's been wanting to go for quite some time. Her kids are in Washington.
Yeah.
Florida to Washington's got to be a hard move. I mean, we did Washington to Arizona, and that was hard. Alright, so are we looking somewhat like a baby eye and like the eye I'm trying to do? Let's put that there.
Yes.
We got it. I wonder, I don't want to touch the light. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of color and call it done. Oh, did we get an answer if people wanted me to do a speed burning of the older skin? Or I should say old skin, because that one is.
You must have asked that while I was gone.
No, I asked while you were here. It's been a while though.
Oh. No, I don't think so.
Back when we were trying to decide what to do.
Well, aren't you doing noses next time?
Yeah, but some people wanted to see me this time burn the old instead of the baby.
Oh.
So I offered to do hopefully
we didn't really get very many votes on that.
Oh, okay. Alright, so let's see. What color of eyes do I want to do? I have my colored pencils down in my lap, so I'm not reaching across.
Oh, you're going to color this?
Just a little bit, just like I did the first one. I just want to put a little bit of accent in. We've got some highlight right here. So let's get that in. It's just I don't want to reach to get different colors. That's all.
Eve says speed burning would be nice. I almost said spurred beaning. I don't know what that would be, but it sounds cool.
Burn.
What do you do for a living? I'm a spurred beaner.
This one's... Oh, I guess I was using the very thin. Oops.
I think it has something to do with NASCAR.
NASCAR? I don't know NASCAR.
Me neither.
Alright. Get our white in there, which isn't going to be too much.
David Rooks is asking, can you burn a sheet of unfinished wood veneer?
Yes.
And then glue it to surface, or is it too thin?
Nope, you can. Dip it wet, because I've burned this. I have a video on where I was reviewing wood veneer paper.
Ah, that's right, I remember that.
So, you can. Oh, baby's on the floor. Okay. Let's get some blue in there. Now remember the color is going to change because of the wood. like it. I don't like what I picked.
Oh.
So, I can blend it out. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's go with some lighter blue in there. I don't want too much. I'm not trying to cover the burning, which is kind of what I'm doing. Alright, this is a color pencil blender pen. Paper. Need paper.
Sorry.
What you do?
I was playing with tape.
You're playing with tape? Okay. On wood, this blender kind of... Oh, see, I've never actually used the blue. I thought it was going to wipe it off, but it didn't. It actually blended it. A little bit.
Andrew says, you make it look so easy, Valarie.
Well, like you see, is the first time me doing this. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to add some green in here.
Well, it seems like they do want that speed burning of the eye.
Okay.
With the older person.
The older person? Okay. I can do that.
For the record, it's not me.
No, it is not your eye. This is a much older person. Alright. Trying to get some gold, but it's not working out the way I want it. Wipe it off. Maybe. Kind of.
Angel's not getting responses in her live chat.
Oh.
I don't think that's happened. I'm seeing everybody's responses. If I'm not, then there's a lot of responses I'm missing, but it looks like I'm getting everybody's.
Huh. I'm not liking that. It's not the best, but you know what? I'm not gonna
I think it looks cool.
Cool. I'm not gonna freak out about it.
It's a technical artist term.
Cool. Well, for me, it kind of I did too much. See?
You think so?
Yeah, I did too much color. I'm much happier.
I think if you hit the highlight, though, I think it's going to balance it out.
But I did hit the highlight.
If you hit it again.
There, I hit it.
That's not what I meant. God. Ruining my life.
Well, the Prismacolor is brighter white. So let's do that. See, this highlight in here would...
Whoa!
What?
Oh, sorry, I'm watching the delayed feed. You moved the eye in close to the camera.
Oh, scared me.
Freaked me out.
You scared me. Let's see here. I think... Add a little bit here. See, at this point, if I was wanted to adjust anything, because I've added the color... I can't, so I would use colored pencils to do it. But I think if I add a little bit of black into the pupil, it might help kind of balance out the color a little bit, maybe. I'm not going to put a whole lot of black in, and because the black is somewhat transparent, it's not really black. It's kind of a dark brown.
Well, Angel, to answer your questions, no, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm seeing the entirety of chat as well as your questions and responses. So
what's happening?
She's only seeing her stuff. She's only seeing her questions and her answers.
She may have to restart YouTube. I'm actually almost done. So, anyway, I would work on that more and do a better job. But, whoa! What?
Shut, you're freaking me out.
There we go. Right at that. There. If I hit, I don't know how well this light's going to work. It's like 6,000 Kelvin. So it's a really blue light.
Kelvin.
Yeah. Alright, let's see.
Oh, that's a light?
Yeah, that's the light around it.
Oh.
But I'm getting a glare now, so
That's
I'm
weird.
trying.
It's circular.
It's a ring light.
I thought it was some sort of like sighting mechanism for your camera.
No. Let's see. It's a ring light for your cell phone, actually, that I put on the camera. Let's see if I can get it better. It gets really bright, but I'll lose. Alright, now it's going to get brighter every time I click it. For 3 times. Alright, now we're gone. There we go. So unfortunately, you can't see the color. There is a bit of nuance to the color pencil. Oh, it just wiped off on my finger. So be careful with that. I smeared it. So it does smear on your finger. Let's see if that helps things. Not as much. Alright. A little highlight there.
David Rex is asking, what camera do you use?
The web camera is the Logitech C920. Something like that.
I guess he's going to pick one up on Black Friday.
These aren't really expensive anyway.
Black Friday.
We don't do Black Friday.
No, thank you.
No.
You
We're going to Arizona that day.
Yeah.
We are going to see the animals.
You don't think that there'd be like crowds of people rushing around and pushing each other to see the animals? Because it's Black Friday.
No, I think we're safe there. I think we're safe. We're going to take what kids come and the grandbaby to go see some animals. Alright.
Black Friday at the zoo. That's like a whole video.
Okay, so I wonder if I do a zoom rather than holding it up, if people can see better.
We're getting lots of nice comments about this. People are liking the way that it looks.
Oh, good.
I think it's very well done.
Alright. So do we look like a baby eye?
Yeah, it does.
And do we look like our other gentleman? Right there. Actually, I'm really happy with how his eye came out.
We should be happy with both of them.
I'm really happy with his eye. And that color was just a little bit. That's what I wanted for the baby's eye, but I could have burned more and I would have gotten a better look.
Well, Angel's got to go. We're getting ready to go too.
Oh, video next week? Yes. Yes, because we're doing noses next week. I know that's the day before Thanksgiving, but
we're doing it anyway.
We're doing it anyway.
Because that's the kind of people we are.
Yeah. I'd rather hang out with our friends than clean house and cook. It's a good excuse. Okay, any more questions? Oh, that is so freaky looking, isn't it?
It really is. It's like my brain doesn't want to see it.
I look, Van Gogh. That is kind of freaky. I like it.
It's like Marilyn Manson as a child. The beautiful people.
Oh, don't want to get copyrighted.
Okay. It's just something that you say to beautiful people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully this video has helped you take one more step in your burning adventure.
Yes, Grace, your family.
Yes. And if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to hit the like button and comment and share. And I appreciate you all so much. Thanks, guys. Happy burning. Bye.
Take a nap.
Yes, definitely a nap. And then we get Layla.